So let's send it over to them.
Thank you very much, Joe. Indeed, joined by Frog, and of course also the captain from Team Ice, straight from All-Star, coming here and getting a victory for Alliance. That's already better than the beginning of last split. Very good for you guys. Tell us about picks and bans, because the Copenhagen Wolves, they had a plan.
Yeah, I think it was very key for us to wait with the mid pick to the very last pick when we saw what comp they had. Because if we had went with more an assassin pick or something, we would have get screwed over because of the Kog'Maw pick, which is really strong together with the Yorick. So we wanted something that could just blow them up in team fights and match them equally, because Yasuo is a really strong split pusher and stronger than Shyvana when he gets more items. So it's very key for us to actually be able to win the team fights and be able to siege, and that's why we last picked the 6.
So it definitely worked out in the end, but it took an incredibly long time to get there. Talk me through the first 20 minutes of the game. It felt like the Wolves were just one step ahead of Alliance. They had a fairly sizable gold lead, and they seemed to push around the map. What was going on?
Yeah, I think our biggest mistake there was we let them push in order for us just to farm up, and then we want to dive the Lulu once he gets back. And that way we can deny a lot of experience compared to them just getting a lot of global gold, which we think is worth more, because 6 can just wave clear in the mid. You don't necessarily need to just push down the turrets and then group, because you can't wave clear alone, but 6 can do that. So if we managed to dive the Lulu top, I think we would have gotten out ahead, but we didn't manage to do that, and they got really far ahead because of that, and they got all the vision control in the game, and that's why it dragged out.
Well, you guys did transition very well into the mid-game, taking control of those dragons and towers, but then at the very first big team fight of the game, you actually didn't do that well when you tried and dive the tower. We actually have a replay to illustrate that, if we can pull that up on our screen, because a little bit of a misjudgment there if you could dive the tower or not.
Yes, I want to pick your brain about what was going on, because it was very clear that you wanted to dive the Copenhagen Wolves. So let's roll this clip out and explain what was happening, the team decisions, etc.
Yeah, so before even this happens, we wanted Wicked to move down so we could dive, because we know Yorick is getting low and we know everybody wasn't there from Copenhagen Wolves. So we would manage to dive them there before the Yasuo got back, but it fails, and our Moon, because we don't pick up a kill, so I don't get my mana back from Athene's Unholy Grail, and that allows them to hunt us down all the way and eventually win the team fight, which was really poorly played from us. But if we managed to get one kill, so I could get either kill or assist, so I could get some mana back, it would have turned out differently.
It felt like you kind of went in somewhat disjointed. Wicked went in quite early, Shook was by himself a little bit. Was that just a little bit of confusion in the calling, or was that somebody pulling the trigger too early?
I'm not exactly sure what happens behind the tower, because I'm more focused on the backline. So what they're doing is like they're trying to keep their backline busy, or trying to get the kills that's pulling, like they're trying to hold their the enemy backline busy so we can do our work and kill them faster. And I'm just there to protect taps and do a lot of damage to Yasuo and the other melee champions, which 6 is really good at. So I'm not exactly sure what went on there.
Can you maybe shine a light on the revamped Copenhagen Wolves? You, of course, played against them in their own lineup 4 times in the last split. And then here, with the new AD carry, Warlad, and the new jungler, Airwax, did you feel a great difference in the way they played the map as to their
I think they
split?
played the map the exact same way in the old Copenhagen Wolves. I don't think Amazing and Forgiven had that much map, like rotations and stuff. I don't think they were like the decisive ones there. I think like the Yorick pick coming in for Airwax, he obviously has been playing it a lot, and that's a new pick they got instead for Amazing, and they tried to make it work out with the Kog'Maw pick as well. I think Moonlight likes hyper carries like Twitch and Kog'Maw, so I think they made it work really well together and tried to plan a tactic around it.
Well, it definitely appeared to work for a while. Wasn't enough to pick up a victory for yourself and Alliance, against rather you guys. First victory of the split. Eyes are definitely on World Championships. Towards the end of the splits and playoffs, Alliance was looking great, fell off a little bit in the playoff bracket. How are you guys going to be treating the rest of the games, as we know you personally definitely want to make it to Worlds?
I think all of us really wants to make it to Worlds. It's a really huge deal for us, and we're all doing our best to actually get there. And obviously everybody practice more than in spring season, because it's closer to Worlds, so you don't get burned out from like practicing really hard now rather than practicing 4 months really hard. So we're going to take it very seriously.
Can you shine a light on the competition here with the changes coming in? Is there one team that you are more
afraid of?
Afraid of, that was what I was looking for, than the
I
other
think
teams coming in.
Last season, SK did surprisingly well, better than anyone else expected, just because of their rotations and the map decisions. They're really decisive and they play the map out well. They don't rely that much on individual skill, which is uncommon for an EU team. So I think they might actually be the hardest team to beat.
Wow, well, very interesting. Congratulations on that first victory of the season for you, Frog. And we need to head back to base, but we'll be returning with Millennium